So we're gonna start the meeting. The purpose of the meeting today is to meet our new executive director of the Elders Affair. And with me today is my colleague Katie Walsh and Lavar Bruce. And the purpose of this informational meeting today is to know to learn of the services that are being provided throughout the city when it comes to the elders. And as well to have introduction of Roy, and he will take the floor and will explain some of the programs there are around the city as well. What will be his projected agenda as the new executive director? So Roy, could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, so please do an introduction of yourself. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Roy Goodman. I'm the executive director here at Elder Affairs. I've been in this position since April of 2024, April 1st, 2024. I previously was a deputy director at the 301 call center. I been with the city for 7 years, since 2017. Started at the call center as a customer rep. Then I took over as a director for 3 years or 4 years, and now here at Elder Affairs, took over for Sandy Federico, who retired. Okay. I know you want to know about some programs and stuff that we do here at the Elder Affairs. So we do have 4 centers throughout the city of Springfield, 4 senior centers. We have the North End Senior Center, which is located on Plainfield Street. We have the Hungry Hill Senior Center, which is located on Liberty Street in Springfield. And we have the Claudio Concepcion Center, or Greenleaf Center, that's located on Parker Street in Springfield. And our main facility here at 1476 Roosevelt Ave, which is the Raymond A. Jordan Senior Center. Most of the programs that we do to benefit all of our seniors, we have physical activity programs such as Tai Chi, we do chair yoga, we do dance, pickleball. We just started a self-defense class that will be starting up next week here at the Ray Jordan Center as well. We did a demo session 2 weeks ago to see if the seniors liked it or not, which they enjoyed. So now we're doing that for the next 6 weeks. We'll do a self-defense class as well. We have a fitness center here at the Raymond A. Jordan Senior Center. We also have one located at the North End Senior Center. Those are our 2 places that have the fitness equipment for our seniors. And we do crafting as well throughout each center. A lot of our seniors love dominoes, so we do dominoes, we do bingo. So all the different activities that they like to do, we try to have established at each center. Our fitness center here at the Ray Jordan Center opens up at 7 a.m. and it runs from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And with the fitness center, most of the time, we have some of our members outside waiting by 6:40, 6:45. They're waiting to get in because they want to get started. And that's a very dedicated group that comes that early. Usually we have 7 to 8 people at a time to go into the fitness center to make sure everyone can get onto the machines that they want. Then throughout the day, they schedule appointments with our fitness coordinator to go in and do their exercise that they would like to do. They all keep track of what they do on a daily basis. Some come every day, some may come 2 or 3 times a week. But they keep track of what activities that they do at the fitness center and see what their progress is. They keep track of all that throughout the time that they're here. They do need medical release from their physician as well if they want to do any physical activities. So we just have to make sure that we have that medical release. So if they want to do either pickleball, work in the fitness center, chair yoga, any physical activity that they want to do, they have to have a medical release for that. We also do, we have different divisions of Elder Affairs. So we have our Shine program. We have one Shine director. Currently, she does not have an assistant, so she's by herself, but she does have like 30 volunteers throughout Hampden County that helps her out as well. They help
Sorry, I
people
didn't hear what he
who are
said.
looking for Medicare benefits.
Oh, excuse me, my colleague Katie didn't hear what you said about the program. Could you recap what you just said, please?
About the SHINE program or
Yes.
everything?
What's
Yes.
the name of it?
SHINE, SHINE.
Oh, Shine. Oh, okay, yeah.
And before we continue, I have my colleague Brian Santinello at the meeting as well.
Okay.
Let
Thank
us
you.
talk.
Good to know. So our SHINE program, that's one of the divisions that we have. So they help people get Medicare benefits. We have one director. She doesn't have an assistant as of yet. We're waiting, the funding just came in for her to get an assistant to help her out. She does have some volunteers that also help her out as well. They're currently in their open enrollment period for Medicare, so all the volunteers that help her out are certified. They have to pass this test in order to move forward to help out any of the members in the community with trying to get benefits for Medicare. We also have a CSEP program. That is our senior employment program. That's for anyone over 55 years of age or older. They must meet certain criteria to be on that program. They allow those seniors that meet the criteria to work, it's like a training program, to work up to 20 hours a week at a minimum wage, $15 an hour. This is part of a grant that we have, part of our CSEP grant. We just started, a new person took over that position. The prior person had to leave us because of medical issues. So we just got that program back up and running again. The gentleman that we have has a wealth of experience in the community, dealing with individuals, seniors mostly. And so he's getting this program up and running. Those individuals who's on that program can go to different municipalities to work throughout Hampden and Hampshire County or nonprofit organizations. So we have host agencies such as the Red Cross or the libraries or the other senior centers throughout, as far as up as Amherst, Mass. So the goal for the program is to get them on, have them do a training while they're getting paid to learn the skill, so then they can try to go out into the workforce. They still have to look for jobs as they're on this program, hopefully on a weekly basis. They always have to submit their documents or where they try to find employment. They can be on a program for up to 4 years, but that's not the goal. The goal is to get them in some training and hopefully they can get off the program and into the workforce, back into the workforce. We try to keep a waiting list as well. Based on a grant, we can have up to 32 people on at a time. But then once we get someone off, then we try to get someone else back on that program. And the next program that we have is what we're starting off now is our senior tax write-off program. We just hired someone for that. He's been with us for about a month now. So we're hoping to roll this out by January 1st. And I know that has been a big topic for the past couple of years to try and get the senior tax write-off program up and running. And so we're finally going to be doing that. And that will be starting hopefully by January the 1st is our goal, to have that up and running and have the seniors who qualify, who are selected by a lottery, that they will start their working by April 1st through June 30th or June 15th, June 30th, somewhere around that year, that time frame, in order for them to get their tax write-off for this fiscal year. So that's the goal. That's our target date. And we don't think that we should have a problem reaching that target date. We've been working hard over the past month or so trying to get this program up and running. As I know, it's been contention of trying to get this going. I know City Council has been pushing this. I know the mayor wants it done. So our goal is to get this done by January the 1st. I know I've been talking a lot, so if you have any questions, just feel free to stop me. If anyone has any questions currently.
Yeah, my colleague, Councilman Cliff Brew has his hand up. Always
Yeah.
your.
Yeah, I don't really have a question, but I didn't want to interrupt. We just got to make sure that door is cracked open. It's open meeting laws. I don't know if it's completely shut, but I just want to make sure because I can't fully see
Just
it.
only-
That was it.
I do have a question
So,
after you.
so Roy, one of the things that I was being asked in the community a lot, is there's any, qualifications that you have to have in order to participate, in the senior center programs?
No, so the only qualification, you have to be 55 and over.
55 and older.
Correct. So, once you reach that 55 age bracket, you're considered you can become a member of any of our senior centers. No matter which one you go to, you will be a member of all of them. So if you came to the Ray Jordan Center and you signed up, but then you should also go to the Hungry Hill or the North End or the 16 acres one. And there's no charge for being a member. All the applications are free.
Okay, so now I have, Counselor Katie Walsh, that she has a couple questions.
Yes, thank you through the chair. Yes, Roy, I was just wondering, and I think you just addressed it, whether or not there were fees involved for the seniors to be in these programs.
Right, so like I said, there's no fees. Even when our lunch program that we currently do, we don't charge the seniors for the lunch. Here at the Ray Jordan Center, which is the biggest center, we have the most members. We do lunch 5 days a week here, Monday through Friday. Our 16 Acres or Claudio Concepcion Center, they do lunches Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Hungry Hill does lunches on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And the North End does lunches on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And there's no fee for the lunches as well.
That was gonna be my second question. So when you have these programs and options for the seniors, how do you get the word out to the whole community?
Well, it's for our members. So you have to become a member in order to come in and do any of these programs. Now, there are times where we may do something with, have a collaboration, say with Bay State, for example, informational meetings. So usually Bay State or us it'll be on our Facebook page. Any type of social media, it will be on there. If there's an event that's open to the public. But most of the events that we have, the programs that we have is just for our members. So you just can't have someone just coming off the street if they're not at the 55 age, or is not a member and just come and do a program. You have to be a member.
You have to be a member.
You have to be a member.
And could you give detail about the enrollment? They could go, how do they enroll if they are looking to enroll into the program?
Right, so they can visit any of the senior centers to enroll. And the application is not very extensive. It can take them less than 5 minutes to complete. It just asks basic information. No, we don't ask for social security numbers or anything of that nature. So just ask you basic information. You just sign off on it. The only part that may take a little longer, if they want to do the physical activities, they have to get that medical release from their physician, which is a separate form. Once they complete that, their doctor signs off on it, they bring it back. They can do any physical activity that we offer.
So could you, for the purpose of the public, give a telephone number if they want to call and ask some other questions that us as counselors might not have asked?
Sure, the main number to Elder Affairs is 413-787-6785. Once again, it's 413-787-6785. Now, our programs here at the Ray Jordan Center begins at 7 a.m. because we have the fitness center, but most of the other programs like Tai Chi, chair yoga starts at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And for the other centers, the North End Senior Center, Hungry Hill, and Greenleaf, their program starts at 9 a.m. as well, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we're open here at the Ray Jordan Center. Our doors stay open until 4 p.m. So although programming may be over, you still can come in until 4 p.m.
That's good information, and the purpose of today's meeting was the introduction of the new executive director for the elders and the hours of operation and all the other good stuff. I know that I've been involved since last year. We have done activities in the community for the elders, and per meeting with the new executive director, he's gonna continue those activities for next year for the summer, which is great because it brings everyone. I know, in my concern was the need to advocate more for the elders community, so they know they have places to go.
Right.
You know, a safe haven.
Mhm.
Due to COVID, they were so isolated, and I still see in my community, in my ward, a lot of elders that they don't know about the programs and the hours, and I thought was a good venue to inform. I don't know if any other my colleagues have any other question. Mr. Brian Santinello, do you have any questions at this point?
Yeah, I do. One of the fastest growing identity theft is becoming epidemic in the United States, and one of the two fastest growing areas that are getting hit the hardest are the veterans and the seniors. And I want to put together a meeting with the three committees, LeVar Click Bruce, Public Safety, Elder Affairs, and Health and Human Services, because I have people that are willing to come before us and tell us what we can do to prevent this and to tell us how bad this is getting. They're opening up bank accounts, they're putting in phony tax returns, and they're hitting these two groups the hardest.
Right, so we are working with the Mayor's Office of Consumer Information with Milagros Johnson to hold a session, informational session regarding the same thing as well. So once we do that, or we can get into a meeting, I can invite her to the same meeting that you want to do. If you want to do that, I know you may have a vendor already, but Milagros has already reached out to us about having an event as well for our seniors.
Okay, that's fine, because as long as we address it, it's becoming epidemic. But thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Mr. Roy, on that topic, are there any other topics that you look at for the safety of the elders that you will be working on as a project?
Right, so.
Yes. One of the things that and Roy can address this too is senior suicide. It's
Okay.
one of the highest rates in the country. And
So,
these people, a lot of times, are just so quiet and they don't bring these issues forward before it's too late. And Roy, maybe you can address that a little bit.
Right.
so
yeah.
Counselor, for the purpose of the following the protocol, so are you recommending, let's hear from Mr. Goodman, what are the projects, and if one of those, because I just want to line up those and make
Yeah, okay.
sure that
Yep.
through the elder committee,
Mhm.
we
Yep.
address them. So that's why I asked the question to Mr. Roy to see what other, in terms of safety, workshops or information, is he planning to work on, and what are those, the highest that is affecting the elders committee?
Right, so we haven't heard much about the suicide for the elders. That's not been brought to our attention, but that's something that we can definitely look into. We do have a good relationship with Bay State on certain topics, so that might be something they might be able to assist us in. Another big one is the dementia, and the caring for some of our seniors, or just even the caregivers alone. So we did have a event not long ago regarding the.
I was at that.
Right. We hosted that, so we'll be looking to do that again for fiscal year 26, sometime probably in the spring or sooner, that we're looking to do another event. And Bay State has been excellent reaching out to us about holding different events. So when we have those informational events, those are usually open up to the public. You don't have to be a member for that. We usually open up to the public to have those events. So we will be sitting down. I usually meet weekly with my coordinators. So we are thinking about a few other things for our seniors, more informational stuff. And we're going to try to sit down with Bay State to see what else they're also to offer us, because they have the expertise in it. We can host it, but we need to have the expertise to come in and sit down and talk to our seniors about it.
Thank you so much. Any other questions at this point from?
Yeah, through the chair, I have my hand up.
Okay, sorry, Council Cliff Bruce, yeah, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Chair. So Roy, thank you for bringing to our attention that the senior tax write-off or work-off program is looking to kick off in January 2025. I think that's great news. You said it's going to be a lottery process.
Right. Based on the ordinance, we can do up to 20 individuals for the senior tax write-off, is what the ordinance indicated. I can go up to 20 people. So that's the first way to do it, will be through a lottery system.
Okay.
We'll have applications available at different sites, all the senior centers, the libraries. Then we'll have a deadline for that. So we're still working on those particular dates. Once we have all the applications in, we will have a lotteries. It will be open to the public. So when we have this lottery system, we'll pick out those 20 names or 20 applications. We don't know who they will be. We'll just pick them out through a bowl or whatever, however we're going to do it, to get those 20 people on the program. And then from there, we'll have to have an interview process with them. We'll have to find out what their mobility, if they have any mobility issues, where we can try to place them to do any type of services for this write-off program.
Okay. All right. Secondly, you mentioned identity theft, that you're working with consumer affairs. Only thing I would ask, because we probably wouldn't have known about it unless we had this meeting. Just the communication, because a lot of times we don't find out until the last minute. I'm not blaming you or anything of that nature, but I think this is great information for our seniors. We're always trying to find ways. I know us on our city councilors trying to find ways to help our seniors. So I think it should be a collective effort with us all getting to the table and making sure our seniors are being taken care of, because we're on the front lines and going to these different meetings. And a lot of these resources, if the city is having these discussions, I think it would be all in our best interest to give us the information, so that way we can't say we don't know or the city doesn't have anything. It just makes us all look, kind of like not organized. But here nor there. Another resource I think I just want to throw out there. I know Councilor Whitfield mentioned this on another call, I believe it was. But if you can just try to not necessarily think outside the box, but try to get creative, like with yard cleanup with some of our seniors and snow removals, stuff like that. I think partnering with different church groups and/or finding the money to see if we can get a small budget for our seniors to help them out. I think that would go a long way with making sure they're being taken care of. Like little things like that, I think would be great. And I don't think that would take a lot of money, but it could be a process where they have to apply, whatever the case may be. But just another idea. I know you say you meet with your team on a weekly basis. And it's for the record for this call. I know we had a meeting a few days ago with Officer McCain, Detective McCain, about homelessness. I know we're going to be working on something with that. So I'm excited that we're hopefully moving in the right direction for our seniors. And let's come up with some an easier way where they can access all of these resources too. So I also been working with the city of trying to figure out some different things other than the internet, because a lot of our seniors don't have access to the internet and/or use the internet. So those are just my comments. Thank you for all that you do, Roy, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the input there. And you're right, with the snow removals, raking of leaves throughout, you know, especially this time of year. And I know at one point, I think Roca used to do it. So I'll be trying to reach out to them, hopefully coming up for this winter and see if they're able to assist again, helping out some of our seniors that are vulnerable and aren't able to do it themselves.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
And you mentioned about the computer, so we do have a computer lab here as well. So a lot of our seniors go in there on a daily basis. They'll teach the seniors how to just even use a computer. So even to show how to get to an email, to if they want to do a PowerPoint. We have a great instructor here. His name is Frank Holmes. He does a great job with our seniors and some of the senior aid program participants. So that is open Monday through Thursday. Our
Yeah.
is open for that as well.
So Roy, just to give you a quick example, I really want to get into the weeds of it. So I went online the other day just to try to look for the tax thing for our seniors through the assessors office. Couldn't even find it. And you know, I consider myself a little savvy with navigating. So I'm been trying to work with Patrick now to figure that out. So yeah, it's great that you know, your team is doing that in the classes and all that, but I just think we have to make it easier. It should be bolded somewhere. I know all these resources should be at a page where we can just, you know, access it all for make it easier for people. We gotta like dig through like 10 or 12 different pages to find this stuff on some of these pages. So but again, great that you guys are hosting that. I'm just more talking just accessibility and easier access for our constituents. Because again, like me, I was searching for this and I still didn't find it. So yeah. So again, Roy, thank you. Thanks for all that you do. I appreciate you.
Okay, no problem. And just on that, so we haven't posted the senior tax write-off. That's the application's not online yet or
Yeah.
anything of that nature. But
Yeah.
the regular elderly abatement
Yeah,
excuse
that's
me.
what it was. The abatement.
Right.
Yeah. That was
Yeah, so that is on the
abatement.
assessor's page. And yeah, it is a little difficult to get to.
Yeah.
Because I believe you have to go through, if I remember my thoughts from 311, you have to go through the admin and finance page first, then get
Right.
to the assessors. Then once you're on the assessor's page, it has all the information there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's abatement. Yeah, I was having a hard time because I had a constituent looking to get that form, and I tried to go on there just to try to link them up, and I got frustrated. Just shouldn't be that hard, but yeah, that's what it was. The abatement.
So I have Councilor Whitfield with her hand out for the longest. Councilor Whitfield, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Great meeting. Thanks for having it. Yeah, my mom got scammed today. And you know, as much as I say, Mom, don't order anything, any ads on Facebook. Don't do this. She got excited by a JCPenney sale, and it wasn't even JCPenney. So, you know, but she does have her card secured. So if anyone tries to, you know, purchase anything, she gets a notification. At least she has that. But so, you know, I'm glad that that was brought up by Councilor Santinello. We should have some awareness training, maybe at the senior centers or something, just to create the awareness. Because, you know, I talk to my mom about this stuff all the time, so I couldn't believe she did it today. But she got injured, so she's home, she's bored, and all that stuff. So I think information sessions are needed. The other thing, I missed the program part because I had got a work call. So what were we talking about? Like, we think that's a good program that Counselor Click Bruce mentioned that he didn't know about.
He was talking about
About the abatement.
Right, so he was speaking
Access.
about the exemptions to the assessor
Oh, the
for
exemptions.
real estate.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
that
yeah.
and the senior tax write-off one as well, which was trying to kick off by January the 1st.
Gotcha. I also wanted to mention about the yard cleanup, snow removal. I think that would be a good service. And I know like once or twice a year, Springfield College students do yard cleanup, and they're always looking for homes for seniors to do that. And so maybe Roy, that'll be a good place for you to reach out to. We also talk about that quite often on the Mason Square C3 meetings, especially like because sometimes they get code enforcement notices and that really gives them like anxieties and things like that because they really truly just can't get out and service their yards and things like that. So I think that a program would be great if we could, create something like that and put some funding toward it, but also like just partnering with some of the organizations that do even keep Springfield beautiful. Instead of just keeping Springfield beautiful, we should look to some seniors that may need that type of assistance during that time, during the Keep Springfield Beautiful. And any other time, I know we used to have the United Way Day that we would go out in September and clean up or do special projects. I think that would be a great avenue, but we do need to like help our elderly as much as possible because it gives them real anxiety and stresses them out, and they don't need the extra stress because it causes high blood pressure and all the other symptoms that come along with stress. I mean, it does it for me. So I just wanted to say those things, and I'm very happy that we're having this conversation because I really got more involved with seniors when my dad was going through his transition, and it was like just so much I didn't know that really happened in their lives until I started visiting the centers, and even some of them just really need companionship. They have nobody, some of these seniors. So I'm just really glad we're having this conversation.
Yeah, that's important, Tracy, and thank you for your comments as well.
You're welcome.
We do have an outreach coordinator position as well, where we have a person, and unfortunately we only have one at this time, where she will help out seniors who need help with their, if they late on bills, whether it be electric bill, water bill, or they need help finding housing. So we do have someone that help our seniors do that as well. And it's important that, like you mentioned, that some seniors just need some companionship. Some of them just want to come just for that. They don't want to do any other activities. They just want to socialize. They just want to sit there and then talk to people. So here at the Ray Jordan Center, of course, if I'm sure all of you've been here, we have our little cafe area. So the TV usually on. We serve coffee and tea on Tuesdays and Thursdays during a certain amount of hours. And they're just there, they're watching the view or whatever they're doing, and they're just having a conversations. So some of them may not be interested in going to play pickleball or bingo or dominoes. They just want to sit there and have the company of someone else that they can just talk to. So, and that's very important.
And my final question to Roy is like, so if we wanted to go like certain, like once a week or something, just to sit with them, hear what they have to say, how would we schedule something like that? Because it's something that I'm interested in. Like, it was a really sad time for me just seeing my dad and the other seniors that had really literally had no one, like no visits, no one. And it just got me more like, I guess, aware that these things happen. And I said, I'm gonna make a conscious effort to, do better.
Right. So you don't have to make an appointment. However,
Oh.
you reach out to me ahead of time and say, hey, I'm going to come up to the senior center on Wednesday.
Okay.
I can let you know what programs we may have going on, or I can probably tell you the best time to do it. Usually it's lunchtime. That's when you have the more people in there. You just want to come and talk to them.
Okay.
Also on Tuesdays and Thursdays when we have our coffee hour, when they're sitting around having their coffee or tea, that's another good time to come in and just talk to the members as well.
Okay.
But
Thank you, Roy.
no appointment is necessary. Just pop in.
Okay. Thank you, Roy.
Sometimes that's even better when you just surprise.
Just pop in. That's right.
Pop in.
All right, Roy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have Mr. McCain. He's gonna introduce himself and the role he plays because he wanna say a couple of
Thank you. Thank you, counselors, again, for allowing me to sit in one of your meetings. Appreciate it. And it's sort of odd that I'm sitting here because I was asked, as you guys know, my main topic right now is the weather and the elderly. But while you guys are talking about the scams and how the counselors are saying it's not out there enough, people don't know about it. It's sort of funny, but not funny to me at the same time, because I teach the scams from the federal courthouse. I'm on a team. It's myself, an FBI agent, IRS agent, and someone from postal police. And I've been teaching this for Denise Jordan for SHA. So all the housing places know about it, and I go to each complex and I teach the scams and what's going on. And IRS agent will say, yes, we will not call you. IRS is never gonna call you and say you owe us money. We will send you a letter, but we're never gonna call you. So for the others to hear that from an actual agent or from an actual FBI agent, and then the scams that are going on here in Springfield, we do that. I will do that for any of you at any time. The PowerPoint and everything is already made. Just tell me what day you need me and I will come here and teach it. Again, Denise Jordan has me do it all the time for all the housing complexes in the city. So I can do it for you guys. I've also done it for Springfield Greater Credit Union. I've taught their customers as well as just their employees on how to look for scams when the young adults are coaching the elderly into taking out their money and things like that. So I'm already doing that, and I will be glad to do that for any of you guys. All I need is when you want me to do it and a place. I have my own laptop, the own everything. So you wouldn't even have to worry about the computer side of it. I have it all.
I appreciate that, as a member, as a director of Elder Affairs, we definitely will need to link up. I don't think you can have too many, having these events, the scam events. You know, although we may have one scheduled down the road, but if we can get one down next month, then I will do that as well. The more they hear it, the better for them all.
Yes.
So
I've actually done one at the Ray Jordan Center. It was myself, the sheriff department, and state police. We've actually done one there too.
right.
So,
Can I ask, what are the number one scams? What's
It's usually they're over the phone, but like the main one that's going around now
yeah,
is like the IRS, you owe money. That's one of the big ones. Romance scams are another big one. It's like Councilor Whitfield said, people are lonely, they want someone to talk to. So you get a person they met on the internet that, you know, gets their trust. All these scams are about trust. All they want to do is get that trust first, then they hit up the elderly for the money. So they get, you know, you have that person that's lonely,
right.
reaches out to someone, next thing you know, it's like, oh, I wish you were my kid's stepmother or stepfather. And if you can give me money, I'll come visit you and stuff like that. And
Wow.
we've had elders that almost signed over their deeds to their house to people because they think they're gonna be in this great relationship with this person that they've never met, but they're willing to give money or their property to this person.
So what's the arson and bomb squad, what's your background for?
yeah.
I do both. I actually started with the elderly, but I also do the arson and bomb squad. And believe it or not, they do go together because a lot of fires are from elderly people that fell asleep cooking or just forgot they're cooking, so.
But what's your background for the scams?
Just, I went into it because it used to be Detective Gormley.
Yeah,
He retired,
yeah.
so they
okay.
put me in it. And then,
Okay.
like I said before, I am the only officer in the Springfield Police Department that deals with anybody 60 or older. The only person in the whole department. So
For all
anything
issues.
involving with all issues, if they're 60 or older or disabled, comes to me.
So anybody
So
60 or
I get
older
everything.
who calls into the police department gets,
I'm gonna be their investigator, yes.
wow,
Wow,
I didn't know they had an age difference for that.
Since for crime, it's 60 and older.
Wow,
wow, good to know. I'm
so you
glad.
probably need more people doing that, right?
It should be, but.
Wow, that's interesting background,
That would be up to.
yeah.
No, he has something else that he would like to speak about.
I think it'd be, to the chair, I think it'd be very helpful to just see your presentation and to
Yeah.
do it at the senior center. I would think that'd be
Yeah, that would be great.
very helpful. Have you been
Yeah,
to,
if
have you
we're-
been to the branches? The other senior centers?
I've just been mostly to the Ray Jordan, so I have not been to the other ones.
I think that's something that's.
Yeah.
But I know,
Set up.
the credit in Springfield Grid is willing to host it, so they're willing to host it, so we will go anywhere that any of the counselors or anybody wants us to go, and I'll gladly do the class. even the weekends, I don't care.
Oh, that's
So-
wonderful. Had no idea we had that service.
So what I will do to all counselors, I will get the information from Mr. McKay and have Susan, email you the information so we could all have it. So I will do that.
Yeah, that'd be very helpful.
So I think,
But oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, if, and I'm sorry to hear about Tracy's mother, being a victim today of possible fraud. But if you do, the most important thing to do is to look at your credit card statements every month and pay attention to those. And if you do suspect it, call the credit card companies, put a fraud alert on. And if it's really serious, try to put a freeze on all 3 credit reports.
Good
So,
advice.
yeah, good advice, and I think this is our first meeting.
Yeah.
I was not expecting so many topics and so many issues. I think that is great, the importance of having informational meetings, and I was saying that a little while ago, because we get soup up only in the legislative. And there's so much as city councilors that we are there with our constituents that's going on, that through informational meetings like this one, it's a form of advocating and bringing awareness to the elder population of what's going on in that community. One
Right.
that is dearest to me is the syringes, the older syringes that are diabetic. What happened is the son, the daughter, if she's involved in substance abuse, guess what? And I've been working for that many years in the Latino community. They go to the purse of the mother, the grandfather. They take out the syringe, they utilize the syringe, and they put it back. Guess what? Many elders are getting infected, and we're not
Yeah.
even discussing that issue because of that. And that's one of the highest topic that I've been working for years. So I was so thrilled to be the chair because I think we have to bring those information out and advocate. I know, what's your first name?
Stephen Howard.
Mr.
And through the chair, that goes through trust. I mean, obviously you would trust your grandchildren. You
That's why, you know,
You
yeah.
wouldn't- You wouldn't really expect them to be doing that.
And to emphasize on that, some of the scamming is from their own relative, because I've been working with elders
Wow.
closely
Yeah.
and some of the scammers. There's some elders that tell their granddaughter, go pay my rent, guess what? For 6 months, they have not been paying the rent, and the next thing, those elders are being evicted.
Whoa.
Yes,
PCA.
yeah, you know, so those are the topics in the elder community and bringing awareness. And then how do you go to a housing court and explain all this, you know? And I've been advocating as a mediator because it does happen. And then the elder entered to the housing court, yeah, right. No, it's happening. Grandma's giving her granddaughter, grandson, the monies to
Right.
pay the rent. And all along, she doesn't know until she received a court order to go to housing court. So those are
Wow.
the issues that are affecting
Serious
the
issues.
community, you know? And to say the least, the most pray is the elders, when it comes to the praying. So it's important that we with the safety committee and the elders committee have this informational, settings. So the people out there know what's going on. Mr. Howard,
Yes, sir.
you know? you
Yes,
had a
Stephen Howard, 1104 Withington Street. I know we're running out of time.
Yes.
But before I ask my question, Officer, you have a pet peeve as far as the heating and the situation that's coming up with the elderly.
Yes.
Do you want to touch on that before I ask my questions?
Well, most of the counselors already know, we talked the other day about the heating. Again, all I can say is I'm just waiting for an answer on where to place the elderly people after hours. Again, anytime after 7 to 8 in the morning, I'm just waiting for that answer on where I can place them. But most of the counselors have
Not aware
heard
of
that.
not aware of that issue.
So, again, I know, Clerk and, Whitfield had heard about it, but mostly it's after 7 o'clock. Say Stevens calls and says, my neighbor has no heat.
Okay,
Cops or firefighters or EMTs go to that house. Mrs. Fletcher doesn't have heat, it's actually colder in her house than it is outside. Where do we bring that elderly person? They don't have a medical issue. Just where are we gonna, what we're gonna do with them? I don't have an answer for that from the city on what to do with them. I know people have said, bring them to the hospital, but would you wanna bring your loved one to sit in Bay State Hospital for 6 hours? For a doctor to walk up and say, nothing's wrong with you, okay, go back home, here's a voucher, go back home? Or take your elder loved one and bring them to the Worthington Street shelter? And say, here, sitting here all day long? With people that are just out of jail and on heroin and everything else, so what do I do with those people at night? During the day, yes, we have the Ray Jordan Center, we have libraries,
Yep.
we have other places, but what are we doing at night when that call comes in?
And
So
because-
again, I'm just waiting for an answer for somebody to say, here's the place, you can bring them here. And that's what he's talking about.
Now,
And
just gonna-
could I say something?
Sure.
So this is that is new, this information is new to myself as a city councillor. But I think having Mr. Roy Goodman here, we could start. I mean, you're gonna need resources, what you're looking is for the resources. And creating a hotline or something like that, I think that's a conversation that probably we could put all together.
Roy was at the last meeting that I had, when we talked about this along with Councilor Davila.
Oh, okay.
So we
yeah.
talked about, I think it was Monday.
Oh, really?
Do you have a budget for all this?
Yes.
Those resources and how do you,
Actually, Councilor Whitfield was saying that maybe the next meeting, somebody from finance will consider in the meeting, and they can sort of say what the budget can be for that.
I
Cause
know
right
that-
now, if somebody, and I've already had 3 people or 3 officers call saying there's a house where the elderly person doesn't have heat or whatever. Luckily, it has not been that cold yet, but the cold is gonna
It's
come.
coming, yeah.
And again, I can't
Yep.
call anybody at 3 o'clock or even Mayor Sano and say, hey, I'm here with Ms. Fletcher. What am I doing with her? What are we gonna do with her?
right?
Yeah, now.
Am I gonna send her to the hospital where she can get COVID?
As
or
we get to
anything else?
December, that's
Yeah.
gonna be a real
Right.
issue.
I mean, this is more on a long run, like looking for elders winter prevention type of program.
yeah.
Hotline or something, but I think it's a venue to create who should be at the table, finance. I think finance, to discuss in the older committee and safety committee, because it's an issue of safety as well.
Mhm.
And have a conversation. I was not aware of it.
Maybe.
Oh, so, it's great that you have brought that, but I think it requires more planning. So let's talk after, okay?
Mhm.
So
Okay,
for last
so
but not least.
can I, Stephen Howard again, can I just run off my questions real quick? Is there a cap on property tax increases for the elderly? The second thing, is there a specific line item for senior services in the city's budget? What is that budget and what are the line items to address that? Dementia, Alzheimer's, those are 2 key issues because when the elderly get these 2 medical issues, families don't recognize it, they don't know how to deal with it. And sometimes the elderly could actually end up being abused because the loved ones could get tired of having to repeat things that they said how many times. And then that leads, that could go down into elderly abuse. We need to have some counseling for the families and the elderly when it comes to that. And I think I'll end there, but there's so many other things that I could mention, but I realize that we're running out of time.
Mhm.
But that dementia, Alzheimer's is very important.
Yep.
And
I think that's something that really needs to be discussed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great meeting. Is any other, great meeting, from the Elders Committee
Yeah.
and bringing awareness. Any other, questions or concerns that the colleagues have? So this will be concluding, this is work for the Elder Committee. I'm gonna be concluding today, but we have take best of notes and we should prioritize
Right.
what are the other informational meetings should be focused on? And I think this is a great start. Thank you to the city councilors, colleague that was here. Thank you to the committee that I did have a quorum. And we will be having further informational to report when it comes from the elders committee. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.